Did this show even take place in a stadium? Because the way they lit this thing, you would think it took place in a high school gymnasium. When AEW first started, the lighting used to be so good. You could see everything. You could see the crowd. You could see the arena they were in. You got a big fight feel. Now it's like, what? Where are we? I've never seen Arthur Ashe Stadium look like that before. This is a stadium, right? And that's a bit of a problem for a while with the way AEW lights things. I've noticed they don't want people to, I don't know, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the atmosphere. I think that adds to it when you light it correctly. WWE shows, when WWE is in a stadium, you know WWE is in a stadium, and you feel like you're right in there with them. AEW, it's like, okay, so we're gonna light the ring like this, and then everything else, you see all that? The scene in The Lion King where Mufasa's pointing out all that darkness, you can't go there. Okay, so the first match of the evening was Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. And I guess this was a winner takes all match or something like that. It was for the ROH Championship and the New Japan Strong Championship. Now, I don't know why these titles are being defended on an AEW show. Doesn't ROH have its own thing now? Doesn't it have its own, weekly television show now? I don't even think it's on television. And what the hell does New Japan Strong... I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Tony Khan's booking is so funny to me. It's like he thinks he's in TEW, bro. What the hell does the AEW audience care about New Japan Strong Championship? Tony Khan is funny to me, man. He's funny to me. He's like a little kid, man. Oh my god. So anyway, this match was okay. I mean, every Eddie Kingston match is the same, really. Goes through the same motions. Does those chops that I do not like at all. Claudio did very well in the match, I thought. I thought he carried it, actually. He should really be in AEW's main event scene. I believe so. I believe that these kind of feuds are beneath him, being stuck in these feuds for months at a time. AEW feuds have to go on forever and ever and ever. I think this is beneath Claudio. I thought it was a good moment. English, man. English. I thought it was a good moment for Eddie Kingston. He got his big, I guess this is his WrestleMania moment, people are calling it. This is his WrestleMania. Well, it didn't feel like WrestleMania because we couldn't see half the crowd, but... Next match was Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara. And let me just say that Sammy Guevara's entrance was so bad. It was so bad. The guy rapping was out of breath almost immediately. He had the light up jacket as a homage to Chris Jericho, I guess, and his Sammy Guevara, his trunks were a homage to Chris Jericho or something. This is when Chris Jericho wrestled Shawn Michaels all the way at WrestleMania 19. So AEW does another WWE callback, I guess. I don't know what this added to the match. I guess they want to say that Chris Jericho is now where Shawn Michaels was, and Sammy Guevara is now where Chris Jericho was in his career. Yeah, there's as someone whose two favorite wrestlers growing up were Chris Jericho and Shawn Michaels. I don't know how I feel about that equivalency. Sammy Guevara has the charisma of my left nut. No, my left nut has a lot more charisma than that. I gotta give more credit to the lefty. He has about as much charisma as a chalkboard. Chris Jericho back then had all the charisma in the world. Guy could carry anything, carry a match, carry a segment, carry a feud. He could sell anything back then. And as for the comparison of Chris Jericho being Shawn Michaels, No. So this match was very not that good. Even for modern Chris Jericho standards, it wasn't that good. I mean, the crowd was dead. The crowd did not care at all about this match. And why should you? I think people are a bit tired of the Sammy Guevara Chris Jericho arc. Like, they've been attached to each other for years now. There was this match was just weird. You know, the pace was weird. It's like they were trying to go for something spectacular and it just kind of fell flat. So the ending of this match, Chris Jericho catches Sammy Guevara with the code breaker in midair, gets the pin. Not sure if Jericho really needed to win here considering what happened after. So Chris Jericho beats Sammy Guevara. And then Don Callis comes out because Sammy Guevara low blows Chris Jericho. And the same way Jericho low blows Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. Okay, hold on, stop. Tony. Or whoever's idea this was. I get the homage to the Shawn Michaels match with Sammy Guevara's trunks, okay? But you don't have to copy exactly beat for beat what happened afterwards. WrestleMania 19 was a long time ago. The callbacks, they kind of fall flat. And Sammy Guevara to 2003 Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho to 2003 Shawn Michaels. I'm sorry, it's just so stupid. So why is Don Callis recruiting Sammy Guevara after he had just lost to a 70-year-old man? Oh, you just lost this match. I think you'll be a good fit for my team. Why didn't Don Callis, interfere in the match and cost Chris Jericho the match? Chris Jericho, I don't know. What does Chris Jericho offer to the product in 2023? He's doing the same thing. I don't even know what his gimmick is anymore. Is he a face now? The sports entertainer? Or the wizard? Or Le Champion? Whatever 50 nicknames he's had. Which one is it now? Then we had Rey Fenix versus Jon Moxley for the AEW International Championship. The Workhorse Championship. I don't understand. This championship has no appeal to me. This championship has no value to me as a viewer. I personally do not care about this championship at all. It's just another belt in AEW. Look, I'm the Workhorse Champion. I'm defending my title every week. Against everybody. Against nobodies. Because I gotta pad my championship record. Look, if Roman Reigns never defended his championship again and came back and lost it, it would still mean more than this AEW international catastrophe. There comes a certain point where when every match you have is a title match, it's just every other match you have. If that makes sense what I just said, I'll give you a second to decipher that. Let me say this. To the empty-headed dip referee who allowed Jon Moxley to take not one, two pile drivers on his head at the ending of that match. The same guy that let a match go on when the other guy was knocked out back in the pandemic era. Fire him. That is the most irresponsible thing I've ever seen in a wrestling event, in a wrestling show. Never in my life have I feared for my life at a wrestling show. You know I had to do it to him. I thought these referees were supposed to be shooting. That's what I thought the referees were. I thought it was a shoot for the referee. If they're going to count free, they're going to count free. They're not going to stop the count. That's what I always thought. But apparently I thought wrong here. So the referee stops the count on the first pile driver because Jon Moxley doesn't kick out. That should immediately tell you something's wrong. He says something to you. Okay, pick him up. Let's do another pile driver. Pile driver him again. Now that'll do it. Ray Phoenix wins the championship, the AEW International Championship. He is a new champion. Everyone's concerned about Jon Moxley. Apparently, Moxley walked out on his own accord, so I'm not going to say he's fine because it looked like he was concussed. I mean, even earlier in the match, it looked like it because Ray Phoenix jumped off the ramp, and crashed right onto Moxley. And even from then, Moxley just looked... I hope Moxley gets better. Hope he has a speedy recovery. The co-main event was Saraya versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship. Oh my God, Mercedes is going to debut tonight. Oh, we're going to shake up the women's division, Mercedes. And where was she? Maybe, I wish she debuted. Inject some life into this stale, dead shell of a division. Can you even call it a shell of a division? The division was really never popping. The AEW Women's Division has not even started yet. I don't trust Tony Khan enough to know what to do with her or book her correctly. But, man, that would have been great if she came. She didn't come. Yeah, that girl did not come. I'm sorry, I'm such a child. Toni Storm has been carrying this division on her back for a really long time. But I don't really hate Saraya. I question some of her life choices and who she chooses to surround herself with. And I'm not a big fan of the way that she argues with a bunch of nobodies on Twitter. I don't know what that does for her character. Even if she is just playing a heel, I don't understand what going back and forth on Twitter does for your character. I think you should go back and forth with other wrestlers, people who are part of the show. You don't see Tom Cruise going back and forth with someone on Twitter and saying, oh, well, it's just for Ethan Hunt. That's the Ethan Hunt character. That's what he does. Ethan Hunt is the main character of Mission Impossible, by the way, just in case you were confused by that reference. Yeah, this match was boring. This match was boring. I love Toni Storm, I think she's been carrying this division on her back. She's never had a boring match, but this was just boring. And another thing, why are the same 4 women challenging for the championship? It's like, bro, I'm tripping or it's like it's the rotation of the same 5 people who are in contention for the title. There's no new contenders. And then the main event, MJF versus Samoa Joe, and your predictable match of the night. I'm not big into this whole face heel pseudo tweener thing MJF has going on. Not even a fan of him as a champion. Tony. You have to you realize that you can hype stuff up without referencing something that happened in WWE, right? That's the premise of this. Is that a shove from NXT? Oh, God. What is going on? What is going on in AEW, man? My big thing with AEW is that it's just so predictable. Your Grand Slam, do something out of the box, do something wild, do something crazy, Maybe it's because I was watching wrestling at a time where the title scene was ultra competitive and anybody could beat anyone on any given night. Anybody could win that championship. You had Sheamus winning the title at one point. He was only on the main roster for a month, 2 months, and he's winning the WWE championship. That unpredictability factor, my limit for champions is probably 6 months before I get bored with the champion, right? 6 months, and then I'm like, all right, let's see something else. Let's see someone else get a shot. Let's see how someone else can do with this championship. Maybe it's because I'm not the biggest MJF guy that I would just prefer him not to have the championship. It's exactly what you expected. There was nothing extraordinary, nothing surprising, nothing big to close the show. Just MJF wins, LOL. That was the good thing about this. All singles matches. Finally. Oh my God. The amount of tag matches on these big AEW cards is so annoying. Tag matches and multi-man matches. Just Tony Khan doing the bare minimum, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, sorry. I forgot to give the star rating to this show, okay? -5 stars.